Hello everyone, welcome back to our grammar classes. Our lesson today is participle and gerund phrases. In week 14, unit 6, lesson number 4. Our resources are: first is literary companion, pages are 260 and 261. Number 2, grammar activity booklet, pages are 40, 41 and 42. Learning objectives. Our learning objectives are: recognize participle and gerund phrases. Use participle and gerund phrases in writing. Participle and gerund phrases. Participle and gerund phrases can be challenging to tell apart, as both being with a word ending in ing. The difference is the function they have in the sentence. Gerunds always end in ing and function in all the ways nouns do. Other participles function as adjectives that modify nouns and pronouns. Participle and gerund. Participle is a word formed from a verb. It functions as a different part of speech, such as a noun or an adjective, like I told you in the previous presentation. Present participle are always formed by adding ing. When a present participle is used as a noun, it's called a gerund. With both participles and gerunds, a verb changes form to function as another part of speech in a sentence. Example number 1. The dog wags its tail. The following sentence, the verb wags, describes an action that the dog is wagging. Formation of participle and gerund phrases. When the ending ing is added to a verb, the verb can become a participle or a gerund. If the new word begins a phrase, it's now a participle or gerund phrase. My question is, how can you tell the difference between the two? Of course, the participle and gerund phrases. First, identify the phrase. Then, read closely to determine how the phrase functions in the sentence. If the phrase functions as an adjective that describes a noun, it's a participle phrase. If the phrase functions as the subject or object of the sentence, it's a gerund phrase. Now I'm going to give you very simple examples to get the difference between participle and gerund. See, the first one now. Chadi is smoking. Smoking here is a participle, is a verb. Okay? Because smoking is describing what is Chadi doing. But in the second one, smoking is dangerous. Smoking here functions as a noun. Because of that, we will call it as gerund. Example number 2. The dog wagging its tail happily is trying to give you a message. In the example above, the participle is made up of the word is wagging its tail happily. The phrase being with a present participle wagging. The phrase wagging its tail happily functions as an adjective that modifies the noun dog. Example number 3. Wagging its tail is how a dog communicates its happiness. In this example, Wagging its tail is a gerund phrase. The phrase begins with the gerund wagging. The phrase wagging its tail functions as the subject of the sentence. Tip. The last slide here. What does it mean, tip? I'm going to give you the summarize of the lesson here. Replacing a phrase with the word that can help determine whether it's a gerund. If the sentence makes sense, when you replace the phrase with the word that, then it's a gerund. If the sentence doesn't make sense, then it's not a gerund. Finally, assignment. Your assignment is answering page 261 in the literary companion, and answer pages are 40, 41 and 42 in the grammar booklet. Thank you, my students. Have a good day and see you in the next class. This presentation created by Mr. Ahmed Haras.